Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again. There are indeed some strange things that's going on in the world today. In America, we are seeing something that only the very old have seen. Most of the young never seen anything like this. I did get the tail on the end. But here we are, ladies and gentlemen, nonetheless. And it's almost funny to me. I look at the guy that you guys chose as president, and he looks like he's putting on a show. He's playing a role. I don't know if it's a role that he orchestrated for himself or whether somebody else scripted it and he's just carrying it out. I would put you in the mind of some photos that you might have seen on the internet of he and his daughter. You know, I believe his daughter models. I don't know if she does it now or even if she did then. I just know that the captions indicated that she did. And he and she seem to have a very, very wonderful relationship. I got several daughters, and the ones that are at home with me now, I can understand just how close fathers can be with their daughters. But I'm not talking about nothing evil. I'm just talking about Trump, the way he plays a role. Now, they were taking some photos of him and his daughter, and she being a model was, you could tell she was posing. But Donald was posing just as deep. I'm not just a father here that you taking a shot of us. I'm posing. I mean, he was posing like a model. And so as I see him running across the stage of the world, look like he's in a trance. Reminds me of You're Fired. I don't know the name of the show, but you know what I'm talking about. And it's like he's trying to prove something that he is the best businessman, that he is the guy that can do this and do that what everybody else wants to do, but he can do it. And he really believes he can do it for the simple reason that he has no heart for others. His heart is only for Trump, and whatever it takes to do to accomplish what he wants, he's willing to do it. That's why you have not received his taxes. He waited around. He knew you wouldn't force him, and you voted for him without him, and he knew that. And now that he's president, he's not thinking about anything that you're saying. You better believe that. But another thing that makes me think that about Donald Trump is that I've had fantasies about being president of the United States. Not that I wanted to be so popular, I don't think, but it was because of the dreams and aspirations that I felt for the people, not for myself, but for the people. And I guess you could say it was for myself because it was an accomplishment that I wanted to do. I wanted to achieve this for myself. What is that? To be able to translate what God had designed for the people according as he had given it to me, not to others, but as he had given to me. Because in it was the opportunity for peace and prosperity and joy. And so I said to me, because I used to want to be an actor like Trump, but I gave it up. I saw something that was more important. But when I gave it up, I think I've mentioned this to you before. I looked at it like the world was going to be my stage, not some room or some set, but the world was going to be the set for me. And I was going to play a major role with a great pursuit, and that is what I've been talking about. And it was going to happen. Now, when I see Trump walking across the stage, I see him with the same attitude, except it's for what I said about it, for himself, maybe his family, and maybe for those who lined up beside him to help him achieve these things. You know, same thing Trump, what's his name, Hitler did. You remember Mussolini and what they had to do with that guy? You know, there's a lot of evil people in the world. Yes, and I'm not trying to say that he's the most evil, but I'm telling you right now, it's the stone gas. But let me see if I can suggest why he's being able to do these kinds of things, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to me, sisters and brothers, because this might not make any sense to me or you, but right now it sounds pretty good. I want to share it with you. What is it that you want? What is it really that you want? You think you know? We all know what Trump is doing. There are people who are just like Trump. They don't have anything. And they want something. And Trump is the man they believe to do it for them. The reason that Trump is the man that they believe can do it for them, because they know they're just like Trump. And that he's just like them. There are others who Trump knows is hungry, business people, just like him, who want to be on top, who want to achieve the best in their category. The problem is, they don't care what they got to do to get it, to do it. They don't care who it hurts or whatever. All they want the outcome to be is that it's done. That's why they're aligned with Trump. The congressmen and senators, all of them who talk so boldly against Trump, who were all standing in line waiting for a position, and now that they have, you know what they do have, they want to sit down and make sure they don't rock the boat and get any major attention from him. And you don't like that. Those of you who are not his supporters, you can't stand him. You can't stand him. He makes you sick every time you look at him. When you see that hair, that, I don't know what color it is. Some TVs got him doing yellow, some got him doing blonde. I don't know, but that style is sitting right there. And you can't stand him. Some of you would, if you had enough guts and the opportunity presented yourself, you'd kill him in a heartbeat. That's how much you can't stand him. But I said earlier that I had political ambitions at one time, and I told you why. In fact, I ran for president 2 or 3 times. Each time I had to run out as either an independent or a write-in. Didn't matter. I wasn't powerful enough, strong enough, desired enough to get any further than out of the door. And I only got 1 foot out there. So, if Trump is doing all of these things to you, and you can't stand it, and I came to you and told you about peace and prosperity and joy and how to get it, I wasn't going to give it to you. I'm going to tell you how to get it. And in that peace and prosperity and joy that you would receive would rest food and clothing and shelter for every American. I mean, not just some stuff that come from the Goodwill or come from the dollar store, but the best stuff that you want. You know, it doesn't have to, everything doesn't have to be so best, but it's whatever you want. If I came to you, as I did, and talked about education, unlimited and unrestricted. I came to you and I talked about health care from the womb to the tomb, and it would not cost you a penny, either one. And you would have the best instructors and teachers, counselors. You'd have the best health professionals giving out the best service that humankind can muster. If I came to you and talked to you about that, if I came to you and talked to you about how this could be achieved, it would be a result of a change in the system. In fact, it would be a result in offering every individual an opportunity to have the career of their choosing, And in those choosing, you would find that put together, it is the workmanship that creates the goods, creates the services, creates all that we desire that would meet our dreams. We would be doing it, and it would be a joy because it's what we wish and dream to do. All the materials are given from the Creator that gave us the dreams and aspirations and the specifics that's going to be our joy. And all we have to do is exercise and do unto others as we have others to do unto you. If I came to you as I did and advocated this as a vision for you, the people of America, in hopes that it would be adopted by the world, if I came to you like that, and you wouldn't even help me get out of the door. In fact, when I came into the community to pass out leaflets and flyers to many of you, you would slam the door in my face. You only go for a Democrat or a Republican, you'd say. Didn't matter what I was trying to talk about. You were in love with what they were talking about, and you weren't going to be moved. So you're looking at a Trump that you can't stand today. And yesterday, the guy was held back so resentfully that he couldn't get out of the door. So what do you really want? You know, the fact that the guy couldn't get out of the door represents that you, the people out in the community, out in society, in the American society, would have felt the same. Why? Because it's so different. You are caught up in a system that you've accepted to be almost from God. And while it backfires, doesn't work and prosper for you the way you would want things to do, you still think it's the best in the world. And if you just hang on a little bit longer, it's going to work for you. You know that. You know that. That's what it's all about. And then you have, as a result of all of that, this right here, what we have today. Two people put before you running for president of the United States. One a Republican, one a Democrat. One a female and one a male. And they were both white. Wasn't no black one there. Well, the black one tried to get in. They set him on the side. But these two were put before you, and the expression that came from others about these two was nothing that neither was any good. No good, and an abomination to humankind. Both of them. Evil. When I say evil, I'm not trying to say you gotta hate them. You gotta love them just like you love me. But this is just facting. And what do you do in response? You went to those polls by the millions. Voting for what? Voting for evil. And it seems like, I don't know for sure, it seems like you got the greatest evil. And you are as mad as the hell that he's creating for you, that you are helping him to create for yourselves. So I ask you again, what do you want? Now see, I'm wise enough to know that if Christians, who he said he was going to let come into the country from other places where people are being persecuted, if they knew the God that I'm speaking of, if they knew anything about the love that I've been speaking to you about, these churches that's filled with a few people in there, these churches that's filled with a few more, and these mega churches with thousands who are receiving money from all over the country, who are getting multi-million dollars, and their preachers got jets and living in mansions and stuff like this, if they knew God, the one that I'm talking to you about, they would step all that stuff aside. And there is no way that they would have gone to the polls and voted for evil. And if evil snuck in some kind of way, every last one of them wouldn't rest until they got him out of that White House and got something legitimate up there to do it. I mean, that's what I think. Well, who am I? I can't even get out of the door with stuff like this. And yet I'm still here talking to you, trying to show if I can do one little thing to help get your lids open so you might see. And why am I doing that? Because that power that is making it possible for all of the things that I mentioned to you to happen for you is using me. In fact, I'm not even supposed to be here. My ignorance in the living in the world was to take me out of here, but I was saved for some strange reason as a choice. But the mission is to live now to tell you what I know, what I've been given. So you don't have an excuse. You can't accept this if your heart ain't right. And your heart ain't right if you don't want to be right. And if you don't want to be right, there's no way you're going to try. And so what you have in your White House right now and the things that he's doing to you, if you don't wake up, it's going to be a big one, a big surprise. So you just think of that and know that God loves you. Until next time, Eddie Marcus saying, bye-bye.